Hello.
Hi, friends. How's it going?
Good.
Good. All right.
Let me see here. Why is this space?
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you.
Welcome. I am in space.
I see that. All right, you guys are here for science this afternoon. And it is going to be a great science class, I have to say.
Oh, yay. I love science.
You do? Me too. And I love teaching science. It is going to be awesome. All right.
Did you just stop the video because you stop video showing because I can't see? Oh, now I could.
Okay, all right. If you are not from the Anaheim campus, can I have you guys type in your first name in the chat? If you are not from the Anaheim campus, can I have you type in your first name in the chat? All right.
Yeah.
I'm still writing one of my stories, but right now I'm just drawing them out.
All right. Awesome. We got Amelia. Thank you.
Hey, check what I
Adam.
texted.
Okay. All right.
I am still in space.
Okay, my friends, so just like I start all of my classes, we are going to start by being muted, and then if you have a question, Ethan, honey, I can turn off your video too, okay? So let's please make sure we're being respectful during class, okay? So we are going to be talking about science today, and in science today, we are still learning more about plants. We're going to keep learning about plants. We are going to learn how we get more plants. And we are going to learn how seeds get to other places so we can grow even more plants. So that is just a preview of what we are going to be doing today. Here is Miss Brinley. Awesome. Our friends are still joining. And now, oh, here's another one. Awesome. So I want to know if anyone knows what pollination is. That's a pretty big word, isn't it? Pollination. Can anyone with a raised hand tell me what pollination means? Jacob, what is pollination?
It's like these type of animals, like bees, they suck up the nectar, making stuff.
Yeah? All right, so Jacob is right. There are bees involved. There are insects involved in pollination for sure. Does everyone have paper handy?
Yep.
And hopefully a pencil?
I'm just writing my...
Good. If you have a place to write, I'm going to recommend that you guys write down what I write down on the board, okay? And if you need me to, I can also put it in the chat, but I'd rather just write it on the board and have you guys try and copy that down. So I want to make a list of, we're going to go this way, pollinators. How about that? Let's start here, right? So pollinators, Jacob told me. Can you guys see my writing, or do I need to write bigger? Thumbs up if it's good size. Thumbs down if I need to write bigger. Okay, good. Looks like you guys can all see. So pollinators, I want us to write Pollinators. We're writing pollinators. And pollinators is our big long word for animals that help us pollinate flowers, right? Help us pollinate plants and help us get more plants. So Jacob told me that bees are pollinators. Bees, that is B-E-E-S, right? 2 E's, 1 S. All right, and we are going to learn about some more pollinators and what kind of flowers pollinators really look for. Jacob, you got a question?
I know a lot.
Oh, okay, well, let me see if any of our other friends can help us first, okay? Because you already gave us these. Let me get some other participation, okay? But if we get stuck, I'll come back to you, okay? All right, Amelia, help me out. What's another pollinator?
A pollinator is a hummingbird.
Ooh, a hummingbird is a great one. I'm just gonna write bird, so it's a little short, but hummingbird, awesome. All right, any of my other friends want to give me any other pollinators? All right, Tristan, what's another one? What?
Wait, hold on. This is deep in the class. This is kind of deep in the class.
No, it's not. You're okay.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Tristan.
Honey.
Honey, yeah, bees make honey, right? That's right. When they pollinate, they can take the pollen back and they can make it into honey. Very good. Any other animals that help us pollinate flowers? Anyone else? Brinley, is that a hand? No, it's not. Okay, anyone else? Athen, yeah, what's another pollinator?
I was gonna say an elephant because they bring water.
No, not elephant. We're looking for probably smaller animals that can probably land on or near flowers. That's probably the kind of animal we're gonna be looking for. Cole, help me out, my friend. What else?
A beetle.
Beetle, yeah, beetles can pollinate too. Most of our pollinators are going to be flying, actually, so they can get from flower to flower, right? All right, what else? Jessica?
Say, my name's Bowden.
My name is Bowden.
Oh, Bowden, thank you.
And tell her what you think it is.
Butterflies.
Oh, butterflies are a great one. Those are definitely one of my favorites. Butterflies, yeah. Butterflies love to pollinate, huh? All right, let's see. What else? All right, Athen, you want to give it another shot?
Flies?
Flies are totally a pollinator. You are right about that. I'm going to tell you about a special kind of flower that flies pollinate. All right, let's see. What else from Amelia?
Oh, moths.
Moths, definitely moths, right?
And flies pollinate the Rafflesia flower.
Yes, you sure know a lot about science, don't you, Miss Amelia?
I do.
That's your favorite subject?
No.
No, what's your favorite subject?
Biology.
Biology. Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing science and biology. So, awesome. Very good. Tristan, you got any others? What?
Spider.
There's spiders. We're not going to talk about spiders today. They are little arachnids, though, running around, right? Any other ideas? I think this is a pretty good list. I'm going to tell you one that actually isn't alive, but can definitely pollinate. The wind is actually a pollinator too. Right? It's not alive, but it is definitely going to be one of our awesome pollinators. Yes, Miss Amelia?
I have a picture right here.
Oh, picture. Good. Awesome. Is that the wind?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
The wind blowing the seeds out of the plant.
Yes, good. So the wind does take the seeds different places, right? All right, Cole, what else, honey?
A bat.
A bat. That is a great one. Okay, I think that is a good place to stop our list of pollinators. And I want you guys to pick, if you are in second grade, I want you to try and take notes on all of these. If you are in first grade, I want you to pick, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to pick like, let's say 4 that you can take notes on, okay? If you can't keep up with all of them, I want you to pick 4 if you're in first grade. If you're in second grade, I want you to try and take notes on all of them. See if we can get all that information down. Okay, so let's start with the wind. I think that is a great one to start on. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit so we can still see our list. So, right over here. So, wind pollinates 20%. Now, I know that doesn't mean a lot. All plants are pollinated by the wind. Here, so you can see my different area. I'm going to mute my friend so I don't hear myself echoing. Okay, so 20% of all plants are pollinated by the wind. Now, 20%, that doesn't mean a lot, right? We haven't really learned a whole lot of percents, but that means that 1 out of every 5 plants is pollinated by the wind. 1 in every 5 plants, right? So there's 15 of us in here, so that means 3 of us, if we were flowers, that means that 3 of us would be pollinated by the wind out of 15, right? So that is about how many are pollinated by the wind. Now, if I'm the wind, I'm not a living thing, right? The wind isn't alive. So the wind doesn't really care what kind of flowers it picks up, right? So usually these flowers are going to be small and probably green because they don't need to have any really bright colors. And they also probably don't have a lot of smell because they are pretty neutral, normal looking flowers. And so that is the type of flowers that the wind is going to pick up and carry all over. That's the pollen that it's going to take. It's going to put the pollen on other flowers so that we can get some seeds and we can grow some more lovely plants. All right. Yeah, Jacob.
Are we about to write the flower thing?
The flower thing. Yeah, I want you, so whatever you're going to pick to take notes on, each section, I don't know if you can see with my pink marker, each section between my red lines is going to be like one sort of area, right? So
Okay, I'm supposed to write everything?
yeah, everything in the red. If you're taking notes on it, I want you to do everything in the red, okay? So each little red box, I'll make a separate area, okay? That way you guys can sort of see. And if I need more space, I'll go onto my whiteboard on the computer, okay? Yes, Mr. Hold on, let me mute Jacob again. Mr. Jason, I see you have a question.
So like a chart?
Yeah, it's kind of like a chart, right? But you don't have to draw the red thing around it. I just want you to write like 20%, small, green, no smell, right? We're just writing a few key words so that we can remember what kind of flowers the wind will pick up and pollinate for us. Yeah, good. Glad I could help. And that is awesome. Thank you guys for raising your hands so I can help you. I love that polite hand raising. So wind, right? So wind is a very effective pollinator, right? And if you've ever blown a dandelion, then you have helped the wind start to pollinate, right? Okay. So we did the wind, right? I'm gonna cross it out because we did the wind. We good so far? How we doing? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down of how you're doing with it. How are we doing with the wind? Does it make sense? Is it kind of confusing? Yeah. Or is it I have no idea what's going on?
Confusing.
Confusing. Okay, so that just means we've got to talk a little more about, where's my lid? I don't know. Here it is. About pollination. So pollination, we know that some things are pollinators, right? But what does pollination really mean? Because that's a pretty big word, isn't it? Jason, you want to help us out with pollination? Oh, wait, hold on. Try it again.
If there is no pollination, then flowers cannot grow.
There is no. Oh, yes, if there is no pollination, flowers couldn't grow. That's right.
Or any kind of fruits are.
Yeah,
like oranges are fruits.
Yeah, we'd be pretty hungry, wouldn't we, if we didn't have pollination? That is awesome. Thank you. All right, Jacob, what else about pollination do we know?
Well, we know about I forgot.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Watch what happens when I do this. What? Hold on.
Yeah. You want to know how does the wind pollinate?
Okay, so that is exactly what we're going to talk about, is how does pollinating happen? That is a great question, my friend. All right, so can you all see my screen, my whiteboard right here? Yes, can you see my screen? Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing on it, okay? And I want you guys to try and listen. So here is going to be my flower, right? So I got my flower, right? Here's my stem, here's my leaf. You see my flower so far? Yeah, okay. So then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick a nice lovely color for my flower. Here's a purple flower, right? So here are my leaves, right? I'm gonna make it a really big flower, all right? So then it's not just the petals on the outside, right? Because then in the middle, I've got this, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's orange, right? But it's sort of this middle part of the flower, right? Is everyone seeing the middle part of the flower? Yeah? Right? So the middle part of my flower is where the pollen is. So in my middle part of my flower, I have got all sorts of little pieces of pollen, right? And pollen is just tiny little dust particles, right? And we have to get the pollen from the middle of one flower to the middle of another flower in order to get a seed. And if we get the pollen pollinating or pollen into a flower, makes a seed. And so once something has been pollinated, it can grow a seed. And as we know, seeds are what we need to grow, right? So we can't grow a plant without a seed. So once it's pollinated, then out pops, whoops, that's white. Out pops a seed, right? And I can use that seed and I can take it all the way to the ground and I can put it in my dirt.
Miss
My dirt.
Patty,
Yes.
we can't see it.
What?
We can't see your screen. We don't know if it's ours. Can everyone see it? Is it just us?
Oh, no, that's a good question. Can anyone see my screen, my flower that I'm drawing?
We can see it.
You can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, we only see the pencil moving, but no drawing. It's okay.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, oh my gosh.
I can see it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, my friend. So that's my dirt over there, right? And I can take my little seed and I can drop it right here in the dirt. And then what do I need to add to make it grow? I've got my seed in my dirt, but what do I need to add to it, you guys? Any ideas? Anyone know what I need to add to make my seed grow? Amelia, what do I need to add?
Water.
Water. So if I add some water, there's my water, right? Do I need anything else for it to grow?
Yeah, sunlight.
Sunlight, that's right. So I'm going to draw my nice little sun up here, right? And then if I put my sunlight right here and I've got my water, then I will start to see my plant grow, right? Just like the other one. And then I'll have another flower, right? Another lovely purple flower. And then I'll have some more pollen inside my flower, right? And I'll be able for another pollinator to come, like a little bumblebee, right? If I had a bumblebee, I'll do a little bumblebee. Here's my bumblebee, right? And if he comes and he wants to get some delicious nectar, let's talk about what nectar is, right? Where's black? Nectar is basically like sweet sugar water that bees and other animals get to drink if they go to a flower. And so if they drink this nice little sugar water, Here's my little bumblebee. He's going to the flower. He's got some wings, and he's going to drink some nectar. And he is going to get some little dust on him, right? Do we remember that the pollen is that dust in the middle of my flower here? He's going to get some of that on him, and he's going to take it from this flower to another flower. And if he takes the pollen to another flower, then the flower can make another seed, and we can keep growing our flowers. Yes, Mr. Jason.
I was gonna say nectar is what makes honey.
Right, yes, the nectar is very sweet, right? And so basically nectar is the reason why pollinators go to the flowers, because they want to drink the delicious nectar. But while they're there on the flower, on their little feet, on their wings, on their little faces, right, on their body, they get this gold dust that's called pollen. And when they get the pollen on them, they're not done after one flower because they're really thirsty. They want a lot of nectar. And so they take the nectar, they drink some, they're like, I'm still thirsty. So they go to another flower. And then they get more dust on them and they drop their dust off. And so they're constantly moving this dust that helps create seeds onto other flowers. So that way we get more seeds, we get more dust, we get more flowers. And that is sort of pollination in a little nutshell, right? In a little seedling. Not a nutshell, because we're not talking about nuts. We're talking about pollination. So that is sort of a crash course in pollination, and we are going to go over that again the next time we are together, just so we can remember that and make sure we've all got it. So now that we've done pollination, and we talked about how wind can spread that gold dust around, right? When we're talking about pollinators, we're talking about things that pick up that gold dust from the flower and move it to another flower. And then pick it up from that flower and move it to another flower, right? So we're talking about moving that dust from flower to flower to flower. And when a flower gets that gold dust, it can pop out a seed. And the seed can fall in the ground and we can grow another flower. And that's basically the way that we get more flowers, right?
Yeah.
Right. Good. So now that we have gone over pollination, let's talk about more ways that we can move that gold dust around, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pop my whiteboard up again so I can draw some more stuff for you guys. Because we talked about the wind. Let me clear this. We talked about the wind, and now we are going to talk about the bees, right? So I had a bee earlier. I'm going to draw a little bee again. Here's my bee, right? I'm going to color him in. And he is going to have, what color stripes is he going to have?
Black.
Black stripes, right? Here's my black stripes. What else does he have?
A head.
A head, that's kind of important, isn't it? We want to make sure he's got a little head. Anything else he's got?
Wings.
Wings, ooh. I definitely want him to be able to fly. Am I missing anything?
Feet.
Oh yeah, he's got feet, huh?
Carry the pollen around.
Exactly, that's where we get our gold dust.
Antennas.
There we go, and I'm gonna give him a little smiley face like that, all right? There's our bee friend, all right? What should we name him?
Let's name him Honey.
All right, his name is Honey. So we got Honey the bee. Honey the honeybee, right? And he is looking for flowers, right? He's like, I'm thirsty. I want some nectar. I'm looking for some flowers. Now, let's talk about what kind of flowers he might want to find. I will tell you that bees like flowers that smell sweet. So I'm going to put a little nose on him so we remember that bees like flowers that smell sweet. So there's flower, there's flower, and here's flower. I'll draw 3 different flowers, and I'm going to have you guys guess which ones he's going to want, okay? There's a flower, and here's a flower, and ooh, here's another one, okay? So I got my 3 flowers, right? And he is going to start sniffing. He's like, I'm looking for something that smells yummy, right? I'm looking for something yummy. And not only am I looking for something that smells good, I'm looking for something that looks really good too. I'm looking for the colors yellow and blue because bees, they can't really see the color red very well. So they don't really like red flowers. So if I have flowers number 1, 2, and 3, which flowers do we think he's gonna like? If he doesn't like red, and he's looking for something that smells good, which flowers do we think he's gonna wanna go to?
The blue and yellow.
The blue and the yellow, right? That, I think, is a great guess, right? So he is gonna look and he's gonna go, I see that yellow flower, and that yellow flower looks really good. I'm gonna go right down there and I'm gonna get some pollen, or I'm gonna get some nectar. So he gets some nectar, but he gets some of that dust, right? He gets some of that dust on his feet, right? There's the dust on his feet. Because he went and he stood on the flower and he drank some nectar out of it, he got some of that gold dust on his feet. But then he finishes and he's like, I'm not done. I'm still thirsty. I'm gonna go to this blue flower. Then he takes his feet that are covered in our orange dust and he goes all the way over here. So he takes that dust and he puts it in this orange flower. And this orange flower goes, whoa, pollen, now I can spit out a seed. And so this guy, he goes like this, and he eats a seed, and the seed falls, and the seed hits the ground. And then the seed goes into the dirt, right? And it can go deep into the dirt covers it, right? And then, what do we need to add to it? Make it grow? Should I add to my seed to make it grow, remember? Yes. Yeah, right there. With the hand. What is it? Nariman?
No, Kareem.
Kareem. Thank you, honey. I say your name's not up there. Kareem, tell me what I need to add.
Water.
Anything else?
And wind.
Water. Oh, wind might help, right? The wind might help move the seed, but I also need to add my sun, right? There's my sun. Awesome. Thank you, Kareem. Awesome. So now, does the seed have everything it needs to grow again?
No.
What else does it need?
It needs some oxygen too.
It does need oxygen, but I'm going to say that because it's in the air, right, it definitely, and actually it doesn't need oxygen, it makes oxygen, but it's going to need carbon dioxide, right? But it needs air, right? So we got the air too, and then when we have the air, we've got water, and we've got the sun, then our seed has everything it needs to grow into one of these nice flowers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is how we grow more flowers, and that is how honey is a helper in helping us grow more flowers and more plants and things to eat, right? All right, so I want to go back and I want to talk a little bit about how we use plants. Because there's lots of different ways we use plants, right? What's one way we use plants? Yeah, Jason, what's one way we use plants?
Well, I actually got two.
All right, let's start with just one, okay?
Okay. You can use them for honey.
Honey, right, good. So food, right?
Yeah.
So food is one way we use plants. Yes, you can see over here. What is another way that we